When I think of the character of God, I think of our God as a just God. And he calls us all to pursue his law. And I think that boils down to loving God and loving your neighbour. I work as a human rights lawyer with people seeking asylum and refugees. I help mums, dads and kids to navigate the process of applying for a protection visa in Australia. I work with them to explain the law and also to help them express their stories about what happened to them in their home countries and why it's not safe for them to return. I worked with a young woman who fled her country. She wasn't safe there because of her gender and also her ethnicity. We helped her to explain her story in a statement with her visa application, and I went with her to her interview at the Department of Immigration. I sat alongside her as she retold traumatic things that had happened in her past. And I was there to help clarify things when things might have been misunderstood. Fortunately, she was granted a visa for 5 years. Unfortunately, she'll need to go through that process again to be able to stay here in safety. Another one of my clients, also a young woman who fled her country because she wasn't safe due to her gender and her ethnicity. She's been waiting here since 2012 and she's still not sure if she can stay here in safety. I'm walking alongside her and her family through this uncertain time, doing our best together to put forward the reasons why it's not safe for her to go back to her home country. The sovereignty of God gives me confidence in my job because I'm not in control. He's in control. And thank God for that. I don't need to work 24 hours a day to ensure people's safety. God sees everything. And we also all need salvation beyond physical salvation. We need spiritual salvation, and only God can give that. So that gives me peace and allows me to rest as well in the midst of having clients who are in really difficult situations. The character of God shapes our life as we think about who God is and that he's a God who is just. He's a God who has his law that is perfect. You don't need to be a lawyer to love your neighbour. Whether you're a teacher, a banker, a stay-at-home dad, we're all called to seek God and to love our neighbour. And to think about who is our neighbour. It's beyond our closest family and friends. Maybe we haven't met our neighbour yet. I think God gives us gifts and passions and wants us to lean into those and to pray for where he's leading us. But it shouldn't stop at prayer. God calls us to take action, to love him, to love our neighbour and his creation.